Here's a seemingly simple question. Where does wine get its flavor from? Well, grapes, of course, but wine usually tastes like more than just grapes. For example, a really nice white wine can taste like mangoes, lemons, and butterscotch. And a really nice red wine can sometimes taste like raspberries or blackberries, even cinnamon and tobacco. So where does all that come from? Well, the answer is really complex, but I can try to simplify it for you. The concept of flavor is actually a combination of factors, including chemical compounds, their flavors and aromas, and additional characteristics like acidity, astringency or bitterness, sweetness, and even alcohol level. Now, all of those things work together in concert to create a bigger picture known as a flavor profile.
You know, I'm just not getting anything off of this wine. I'm not really sure why.
Did you know that our sense of taste is actually mostly smell? There's an area at the back of your nose where it meets the throat called the retronasal passage. And when you eat or drink something, aromas combine together with the sensations on your taste buds to form a bigger picture of flavor.
Genetically speaking, the more attractive a grape tastes and smells, the better its chances of being spread and propagated. Grapes contain thousands of natural chemical compounds with names like flavonoids, anthocyanins, and catechins. This chemistry genetically evolved as a way to attract pollinators and propagators.
Each of these chemicals has a unique and detectable flavor or aroma. For example, geraniol smells like the geranium plant and can be found in a lot of white wines. Methoxypyrazine is the smell and flavor of a green bell pepper, and you can find that in Sauvignon Blanc and Cabernet Sauvignon, to name a few. Some of these chemical compounds are so potent that the human nose can actually detect them at just 1 part per trillion, which is pretty astounding. Red wines get their flavor and color from the skins of the grape, so it stands to reason that they also have more of these compounds and are typically more complex than white wine. They also have more antioxidants in them, like resveratrol, which is why they age longer. Wine also possesses a number of other substances that contribute to its flavor profile. For example, tannin. That's the bitter component that comes from the stems and the seeds of the grape. It also comes from the inside of an oak barrel as well. If you've ever had a strong cup of tea before, you'll recognize that drying texture that tannins leave on your lips and on your teeth. Grapes contain fruit sugars like fructose and glucose, which determine how much potential alcohol is going to be in a wine, and also, yoink, how sweet it is. Acids occur naturally in all fruit. Grapes contain acid too, which gives wine a balance and sharpness so that it doesn't end up tasting too dull. Alcohol is colorless and odorless, but it actually does have a little bit of a sweet flavor to it. Its main role in wine is to act like a binder, or the main vehicle, if you will, to carry all the other components. The higher in alcohol a wine is, the more full-bodied and warm it's going to feel in your mouth. The lower in alcohol, the lighter and more refreshing.
The way in which a winemaker makes their wine strongly influences the flavor too, from the type of yeast that they use all the way down to the choice of barrel that they age the wine in. These will all contribute flavor and what are known as secondary notes to the wine.
One last thing that's really worth mentioning. Our own biases, cultural and personal, shape what we sense, whether we like it or not. In other words, our senses can be influenced based on what we personally believe. So after all that I just said, it's ultimately up to your brain to make the final call on taste. Was that simple enough for you? I tried. I don't think there's any easy way to explain it other than to just open up a bottle and celebrate the happy coincidence that is wine. It's a convergence of biology, chemistry, trial and error, and to a certain extent just dumb luck, which kind of makes it taste all the better when you realize what it took for that to get here.